20 forgotten gadgets of the 1970s that were decades ahead. The 1970s brought the feeling that the future was near with a golden age of bold innovations. Devices that once only existed in science fiction, from the first pocket calculator to rudimentary game consoles, entered everyday life. Whether bulky or groundbreaking, all are memorable and laid the foundation for modern technology. Let's look back at these devices that were far ahead of their time and discover how they shaped the world today. Bell System, picture phone. Kicking off our list is an icon of communication pioneering, the Bell System picture phone, launched in 1970. Imagine at that time, when landline phones were merely voice transmission devices, the idea of seeing the person you were talking to during a call was truly a miracle. An extremely bold concept that seemed to exist only in science fiction movies. This picture phone allowed users to not only hear but also see each other during a call, offering a truly futuristic communication experience for its time. With a small display screen and the ability to transmit both video and audio, it truly astonished anyone who experienced it. But despite its groundbreaking technology, the picture phone faced enormous challenges that prevented its widespread adoption. Its price was truly an unimaginable barrier, approximately $160 per month at the time, equivalent to about $1,100 today when adjusted for inflation. With such an expensive cost, owning a picture phone was almost exclusively for large business clients or extremely high-income individuals, those willing to pay to experience the peak of technology. Furthermore, the device was quite bulky, requiring significant installation space, and the supporting network was very limited, available only in a few major U.S. cities like New York and Chicago. As a result, only about 500 picture phone units were sold, making it a commercial failure in terms of quantity. Kodak digital camera. Prototype. Next is a fascinating story about an invention that could have changed the history of photography much earlier. In 1975, within the renowned Kodak Corporation, famous for film, engineer Steve Sasson created the world's first digital camera prototype. This was truly a revolutionary piece of technology, decades ahead of its time. This pioneering camera did not use traditional film rolls. Instead, it captured images using a CCD charge-coupled device, image sensor. This sensor's task was to convert light into digital data, a completely new and groundbreaking idea at the time. However, this camera at the time looked nothing like the pocket cameras we are familiar with today. It was bulky, the size of a toaster, heavy, and complex. Despite its large size, its imaging capabilities were very limited. It only captured black and white photos with a mere 0.01 megapixel resolution, a number almost negligible compared to the tens or hundreds of megapixels of today's sensors. What's even more remarkable was the slow process of shooting and saving photos. It took 23 seconds to capture and save a single photo onto a cassette tape. The estimated cost to develop this prototype was also significant, approximately $100,000, a substantial investment in the 70s. Regrettably, despite its immense potential, this prototype was never commercialized and sold to the public. Kodak, at the time, did not seriously pursue digital photography technology, partly because they feared it would disrupt their extremely profitable film business. This is perhaps one of the biggest historical mistakes in the tech industry. Mattel Auto Race. If you're a gamer or grew up in the 70s and 80s, you definitely won't forget this electronic toy. Mattel Auto Race, launched in 1976. It was an incredibly groundbreaking item, one of the world's first handheld electronic games, and it truly revolutionized the gaming industry by bringing mobile gaming experiences to consumers. Priced very affordably at around $25, Mattel Auto Race offered a simple yet extremely addictive gaming experience. Players controlled a digital car on a tiny screen, racing against a timer, dodging obstacles and trying to break their own or their friends' records. What made it special wasn't complex graphics, because at that time graphics were very rudimentary and only represented by basic red LED dots. But it was precisely its simplicity and high competitiveness that made it strangely captivating. Although the graphics were still very basic and features were much more limited compared to modern games, Mattel Auto Race achieved resounding success. It sold over 1 million units, a huge number for a handheld electronic device at the time, clearly demonstrating its popularity and immense impact on the nascent gaming industry. This small device paved the way for the creation of countless other mobile gaming devices we love today, from Nintendo's legendary Game Boy to versatile mobile devices like smartphones and the Nintendo Switch. Although no longer as advanced as modern devices, its simplicity and nostalgic value have made Mattel Auto Race a sought-after collectible for vintage gaming enthusiasts. Sebring Vanguard City Car, 1974. Moving on to a completely different but no less pioneering field, we have the Sebring Vanguard City Car, introduced in 1974. It sounds strange for its time, but this was a truly groundbreaking electric car, born long before the concept of electric car became popular and widely accepted as it is today. As the world was grappling with the energy crisis of the 1970s, this small car appeared as a symbol of environmental consciousness and a vision for a sustainable future. The city car had a compact, unique wedge-shaped design with a body made of lightweight fiberglass. This was a smart material choice, helping reduce weight and optimize energy efficiency. The car was equipped with a 3.5 horsepower electric motor, capable of reaching a top speed of 30 miles per hour and a range of about 40 miles per charge. With these specifications, the city car was ideal for short urban commutes, fitting the goal of fuel efficiency and environmental protection. Initially, this car was priced at about $3,000. Although this figure seems modest compared to current car prices, it was still a significant investment at the time, but very attractive to environmentally conscious consumers amidst rising gasoline prices. The city car was manufactured in Florida and achieved significant commercial success compared to other electric vehicles of its time. Over 2,300 units were sold before production ceased in 1977. This number made the city car the most produced American electric car for a very long time, until modern electric car lines began to emerge and change the market. IBM 3800 laser printer. This printer used laser technology to transfer data onto paper, providing superior print quality, much sharper than dot matrix printers of its time. At first glance, it might seem like a common printer, but it was much more than that. It was the world's first high-speed laser printer, a groundbreaking invention that completely changed how printing and document processing were done. Before the IBM 3800, printing technologies primarily relied on dot matrix or daisy wheel printers, which were slow and offered relatively low print quality. The IBM 3800 brought a colossal leap forward. It was capable of producing high-quality prints at unprecedented speeds, up to 215 pages per minute. Can you imagine that speed was truly phenomenal in the 1970s? This incredible performance made the IBM 3800 ideal for large-scale printing tasks, such as generating batches of business invoices, complex financial reports, or other important documents for large corporations. Of course, with such advanced technology and superior capabilities, the price of the IBM 3800 was not easy on the wallet. When it first launched, it was priced at about $500,000. This astronomical price clearly reflected its modern technology and the target market IBM aimed for: large corporations and financial institutions, places with enormous printing needs and a willingness to invest in optimizing workflows. Among these tech gadgets, is there one from your childhood or youth that you still remember? Share in the comments. Texas Instruments Speak and Spell. Moving on to a gadget that captivated generations of children and revolutionized learning. The Texas Instruments Speak and Spell, launched in 1978. This device garnered attention as an extremely innovative, ahead-of-its-time device, especially because it was one of the first consumer devices to use speech synthesis technology. This meant that the Speak and Spell could pronounce and spell words clearly, making learning incredibly interactive and engaging for children. Imagine in the late 70s, when voice technology was a luxury and complex, having a handheld device that could talk and teach you to spell was a miracle for young children and parents alike. The main function of Speak and Spell was to help children improve their spelling and pronunciation through various built-in games and activities. The device had a simple keyboard for typing letters and a small screen to display words, making it easy for children to interact and learn. Priced quite affordably at about $50, Speak and Spell quickly became a phenomenon. It sold over 1 million units in its first year alone. Its success continued throughout the 1980s, making it a familiar item in many households and classrooms, helping children develop language skills in a fun and effective way. Polaroid Polavision. If the picture phone offered video calls, another Polaroid invention brought instant home movies to every home. The Polaroid Polavision system launched in 1977. This was certainly an ambitious effort by Polaroid to venture into the world of home movies, allowing users to record and immediately develop short films at home. At the time, this was truly a marvel, an unprecedented convenience for capturing and reliving memorable moments of everyday life. The Polavision system included a special movie camera, a separate film cassette, and a viewer for playback, like a small TV. Users could record up to 3 minutes of footage per cassette. The magic was that immediately after recording, simply inserting the cassette into Polavision's exclusive viewer would automatically develop and instantly display the footage. The excitement of being able to watch family moments you just filmed just minutes later must have been indescribable, right? But despite its advanced technology and appealing idea, Polavision faced many difficulties and ultimately did not achieve great success. Its price was a significant barrier for consumers. The Polavision camera cost about $600, and each film cassette also cost about $15. This cost was truly a large investment in the 70s. Furthermore, the developed films could only be viewed on the company's exclusive Polavision viewer, which severely limited their flexibility. The emergence of VHS tapes and camcorders not long after quickly overshadowed Polavision. VHS offered much longer recording times and, more importantly, easy playback on standard TVs without the need for a separate device. Polavision was eventually discontinued in the early 1980s, with only about 50,000 units sold. Broxodent electric toothbrush. It might sound a bit surprising, but even our daily oral hygiene was revolutionized by an invention from the 70s. That's the Broxodent electric toothbrush. Although Broxodent was first introduced in 1960, it only truly became popular and changed the oral hygiene habits of many people throughout the 1970s. Broxodent brought a completely new approach to oral cleaning with its advanced design and integrated electric motor. Having a brush that automatically vibrated or rotated to clean teeth was a very modern and convenient concept. Priced at around $25, Broxodent was considered a premium product of its era, aimed at those who wanted to care for their teeth more effectively. Broxodent's innovative design allowed for much more effective and thorough oral cleaning than traditional manual brushing. The electric motor helped the bristles move with consistent speed and frequency, removing plaque better and massaging gums more effectively. Its popularity soared, with millions of units sold worldwide, especially in the United States and Europe. It changed the perception of oral care, transforming it from a simple task into a more scientific and effective process. After its initial success, Broxodent gradually faded from the market as newer electric toothbrush models emerged with more advanced features and improved technology. Sony Betamax SL7200. To continue our journey exploring ahead-of-its-time conveniences, we cannot fail to mention a technology battle that raged in the 1970s and 80s, the war between Betamax and VHS. And representing Betamax, a truly outstanding device in terms of quality, was the Sony Betamax SL7200, launched in 1975. This was a top-tier home cassette video recorder, VCR, promising a revolution in home entertainment. What set the Betamax SL7200 apart was its ability to provide superior image quality compared to its main competitor, the VHS format. With better video resolution and higher color fidelity, Betamax offered much sharper, more vivid movie and TV show viewing experiences. This advanced device, priced at about $1,300 upon launch, allowed users to record their favorite TV shows and play back videos at home. This was an extremely novel and convenient concept at the time, freeing viewers from fixed broadcast schedules and ushering in the era of time-shifted viewing for entertainment content. The Betamax SL7200 also faced many difficulties in its battle with the VHS format, primarily due to two key factors: shorter recording time and higher cost. VHS tapes typically allowed for significantly longer recording, which consumers greatly preferred for recording entire movies or multiple show episodes without changing tapes. Nevertheless, the SL7200 still sold tens of thousands of units, marking a significant milestone in the development of home video recording technology. Ultimately, despite better quality, Betamax was overshadowed by the more consumer-friendly VHS format, leading to a decline in Betamax's market share. Digital wristwatch. Have you ever thought that the way we tell time could completely change? In the 1970s, the digital wristwatch created a true revolution in timekeeping, marking the beginning of a new digital era. It started with the Pulsar P1 from Hamilton Watch Company, launched in 1972. The Pulsar P1 was more than a watch. It was a symbol of new technology and style, a top-tier luxury item at the time. With its unique design and glowing red LED display, it truly stood out among a sea of traditional analog watches. However, to tell time, the wearer had to press a button, and the numbers would light up in a brilliant red glow. What was special was that the Pulsar P1 cost up to $2,100, equivalent to about $13,000 today when adjusted for inflation. This price made it a luxury item, a status symbol reserved for the elite. But technology continued to advance. Not long after, LCD, liquid crystal display, technology was introduced. LCD allowed for continuous time display without pressing a button, and more importantly, it was much more battery efficient. These advancements made digital watches extremely appealing. By the mid-1970s, companies like Seiko and Casio began mass-producing digital wristwatches at much more affordable prices. This made digital watches more accessible to the public and quickly became a popular item. Do you remember any tech gadgets that changed your life or your family's during that era? Tell us your memories in the comments section. IBM 5100 Portable Computer. In our journey to discover ahead-of-its-time conveniences, we cannot fail to mention a device that shaped the future of personal computing: the IBM 5100 Portable Computer, launched in September 1975. The term portable computer at the time had a very different meaning than today. The IBM 5100 was truly a groundbreaking device, hailed as one of the first portable computers in the world. Imagine in the mid-70s when computers were giant machines that filled an entire room. Having a device capable of powerful computations packed into a relatively compact form was extraordinary. Although it weighed about 55 pounds, approximately 25 kilograms, a number we cannot imagine for a laptop today, the IBM 5100 was still considered portable because it could be moved, which most other computers could not. This device was equipped with an integrated 5-inch CRT display, a built-in keyboard, and the ability to run APL and BASIC programming languages. This made it an extremely flexible and powerful tool for professionals and researchers who needed high computing power and some mobility for their work. Upon launch, the IBM 5100 ranged in price from $8,975 to $19,975 depending on the configuration. This high price clearly reflected its advanced capabilities, such as 16 to 64 kilobytes of RAM and an integrated magnetic tape drive for data storage. Despite such an enormous price, IBM still sold thousands of units, primarily to businesses and academic institutions that had an urgent need for powerful and flexible computing capabilities. Today, the IBM 5100 is a collectible with significant historical meaning, although it is no longer produced or used in practice. Bowmar 9901B LED Handheld Calculator. In the world of numbers and calculations, a small but powerful device revolutionized how we perform math. The Bowmar 9901B LED handheld calculator, launched in the early 1970s. This was a groundbreaking gadget, pioneering the convenient provision of mobile computing for everyone. At the time, calculators were often large, bulky machines or crude mechanical pocket calculators. The Bowmar 9901B changed all that. What made it stand out was its bright, clear LED display, which made numbers easy to read in various lighting conditions. This was a superior advantage compared to earlier calculator models with dimmer or harder-to-see screens. This compact calculator could perform basic arithmetic operations like addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division, and was considered extremely advanced at the time. Therefore, the Bowmar 9901B was not an inexpensive item. However, despite its high price, the Bowmar 9901B quickly became popular, with about 100,000 units sold throughout its production period. Its success paved the way for further advancements in calculator technology, significantly contributing to the digital revolution and the popularization of personal computing devices. The Bowmar 9901B holds a special place in calculator history as one of the pioneering LED handheld calculators, laying the foundation for modern mobile computing devices. Panasonic Automatic Bread Maker. Do you think kitchen automation is a new concept? Think again. In the 1970s, a device brought a revolution to thousands of family kitchens, the Panasonic Automatic Bread Maker. This invention completely changed how people baked bread at home, making baking easier and more convenient than ever. Before the automatic bread maker, baking bread at home was a laborious and time-consuming process, requiring meticulous kneading, proofing, and baking skills. Panasonic brought a completely new solution. Priced at about $200 at the time, this was a significant investment, but it was extremely appealing to those who valued convenience and wanted to enjoy fresh, delicious homemade bread without much effort. This machine quickly became popular, with thousands of units sold in its first year alone. Its advanced features included programmable settings for different types of bread, such as white bread, whole wheat bread, and even gluten-free options, making it versatile for various dietary needs. The magic was that the machine would automatically mix dough, knead dough, proof dough, and bake bread, requiring very little effort from the user. You just needed to add ingredients, select a mode, and wait for the finished product. A hot, fragrant loaf of bread. Motorola DynaTAC. When thinking of mobile phones, you often think of today's thin, lightweight, multifunctional smartphones. But to get those devices, we have to go back to 1973, when an invention opened up a whole new era for communication: the Motorola DynaTAC. This was a groundbreaking innovation, truly ahead of its time. Not just a phone, but also a symbol of freedom of movement while talking. The DynaTAC was the first commercialized wireless mobile phone, breaking free from landline cords and outlets. Although it was a luxury item at the time with a price of about $4,000, equivalent to about $23,000 today, the DynaTAC was still an extraordinary leap forward. Its slender shape, though still very large by today's standards, and portable nature made it a symbol of status and technological advancement. Being able to chat while walking down the street or sitting in a car without a wire connection was unimaginable at the time. Initially, the DynaTAC targeted wealthy customers who needed constant communication for work or life. But over time, it became more popular. Approximately 2,000 units were sold by 1984, marking the first steps of the mobile revolution. Sony TR-610 Pocket Radio. Before iPods, before smartphones, and even before the Walkman, there was a small but incredibly powerful device that ushered in the era of mobile music and news. The Sony TR-610 Pocket Radio, introduced in 1970. Although an earlier version of the TR-610 came out in 1958, its improved version and popularity in the 1970s truly cemented its position as an ahead-of-its-time device, pioneering the experience of listening to music and news anytime, anywhere. The Sony TR-610 caused a sensation with a modest retail price of $54.95. What made it special was its extremely compact size, small enough to fit in a shirt or pants pocket. This allowed music and news enthusiasts to carry their entertainment world with them wherever they went. It was equipped with an AM/FM band and a telescopic antenna, ensuring clear reception even in remote areas. The arrival of the Sony changed how people consumed information and entertainment, turning waiting or travel moments into opportunities to enjoy music or catch up on news. Among the inventions we've just explored, which device do you find most iconic of the 70s? Why? Atari Home, Pong game console. After discussing conveniences for work and daily life, let's look back at a device that completely changed how we entertained ourselves at home. The Atari Home Pong console, released in 1975. This was truly a revolutionary gadget that brought the popular arcade game Pong from entertainment centers straight into every family's living room. It wasn't just a game, it was the gateway to the vast home video game industry we know today. Atari Home Pong brought endless joy to millions. This console had a simple, easy-to-use design with two integrated controllers, like two paddles, and a single objective, hitting a ball back and forth on the screen, like an electronic tennis match. The game's simplicity yet addictiveness made it easily accessible and embraced by a large audience from children to adults. Atari Home Pong achieved resounding success beyond imagination. Over 150,000 units were sold in its first year alone, far exceeding the manufacturer's expectations. Its popularity confirmed the potential of home video games and marked the official beginning of the home video game industry, laying the foundation for countless game consoles to come. Sony Walkman. When it comes to iconic devices of the 70s that influenced both the 20th and 21st centuries, we cannot fail to mention the Sony Walkman, introduced in 1979. The Walkman was not just a cassette player, it revolutionized the personal music listening experience, allowing people to listen to music anytime, anywhere. A completely groundbreaking concept at the time. Before the Walkman, if you wanted to listen to music on the go, you had to carry a bulky cassette player or a small transistor radio with limited sound quality. The Walkman changed all that. Priced at about $150, this portable cassette player ushered in a new era of musical freedom. Its lightweight and compact design, combined with personal headphones, provided a private, personalized listening experience, no matter where the user was. On a bus, walking, or jogging. It wasn't just a device, it was a cultural statement. The Walkman quickly became a cultural icon, symbolizing the freedom and individuality of young people. It sold over 200 million units worldwide, a colossal number proving its popularity and immense social impact. The Walkman not only changed how we listen to music, but also shaped lifestyles, encouraging people to move and enjoy music in their own way. Over time, technological advancements led to the evolution of the Walkman into other music formats. From portable CD players, MP3 players, and finally to smartphones with music streaming capabilities. Polaroid SX70. In an age of digital photos and instant sharing, it's hard to imagine the magical feeling of a photo appearing right before your eyes in just a few minutes. That's precisely what the Polaroid SX70 camera, introduced in 1972, brought to users and astonished them. This was a truly groundbreaking instant camera, combining convenience and innovation, allowing everyone to instantly capture moments and see the results immediately after. Its most notable feature was its unique foldable design, making it portable and stylish. This allowed users to easily carry this camera anywhere, from parties and picnics to family outings. It used Polaroid's exclusive instant film technology, producing complete prints in just a few minutes without the need for cumbersome external processing. The feeling of holding a newly taken photo in your hand, watching it gradually appear sharp before your eyes, was an unforgettable experience at the time. The SX70 became extremely popular, selling millions of units worldwide. Its ability to provide instant gratification and tangible memories made it a cherished utility for both professional photographers and casual users. Although newer technologies have surpassed the SX70 in terms of convenience and image quality, it remains a beloved collectible. It was a precursor to modern instant cameras and contributed to shaping the culture of instant image sharing that we see exploding on social media today. Cuisinart food processor. We've explored many conveniences that changed how we work, play, and communicate. But even in our familiar kitchens, a device also created an incredible revolution: the Cuisinart food processor, released in the 1970s. It wasn't just a common household appliance, it set a new standard for food preparation, transforming complex kitchen tasks into much simpler and more efficient duties. Developed by Carl Sontheimer, the Cuisinart food processor combined various functions into a single device, such as chopping, slicing, and mixing. This was truly ahead of its time, as it significantly simplified complex cooking processes, thereby saving time and effort for home cooks. It attracted both professional chefs and homemakers who wanted to enhance efficiency and convenience in their daily kitchen work. When it first launched, the Cuisinart food processor cost about $200. This was a relatively high price at the time, but it was considered worth it for the innovative features it offered. Although there was initially some skepticism about the cost, it quickly became popular. Cuisinart's success led to a major shift in how kitchens operated, emphasizing convenience and speed without compromising on food quality. Clive Sinclair Pocket Calculator. Finally, let's move to a convenience that changed how millions of people performed daily calculations: the Clive Sinclair Pocket Calculator, released in the early 1970s. This was a groundbreaking gadget, pioneering the delivery of truly portable computing to everyone. Pioneered by British inventor Clive Sinclair, this calculator was one of the first truly electronic pocket calculators, small enough to fit in the palm of your hand. It offered an unprecedented level of mobility at the time, when other calculators were still very large and bulky. When it was first introduced, this pocket calculator cost about £79.95, a quite expensive price at the time, making it a luxury item for many. However, its compact design and convenience made it extremely sought after by professionals and students. Despite the high initial cost, the pocket calculator quickly became popular. Thousands of units were sold in its first year alone, demonstrating a large demand for a personal, convenient calculating tool. Its success paved the way for the mass production of various pocket calculators, thereby completely changing how people performed daily calculations, from simple addition and subtraction to more complex calculations in work and study. Today, although Clive Sinclair's specific pocket calculator model may no longer be produced, its legacy continues to live on in modern handheld calculators and mobile devices. That the corn tasted metallic, or that the beans had clumped together into a green blob. The tray was sometimes reused, sometimes discarded, but always remembered. It was dinner without dishes, calories without questions, and warmth without doing anything. Did any of these items bring back childhood memories or interesting stories about past technology? Don't hesitate to leave a comment and share your memories. If you enjoyed this nostalgic journey, don't forget to support us by liking, sharing, and subscribing to Back to Yesterday so you don't miss out on more exciting nostalgic adventures. Thank you for watching until the very end. See you in the next video. Have a great day.